Good morning, everyone. We are delighted to be here presenting at EPSCoR PI Meeting, and we will be sharing with you an ongoing initiative at NSF that we truly believe has the potential to be transformative in helping us advance our efforts to promote equity and participation in NSF programming. It is a new system. It's often called by its acronyms, ETAP, which is designed to support NSF-funded education and training opportunities. I am Cecilia Speroni, and I am an evaluator at the Evaluation and Assessment Capabilities section at NSF. It's an office that is housed within OIA, the Office of Integrated Activities. And I'm joined by Marcy Guialdo, a director at Matematica, which is an organization that is working very closely with NSF on this effort. NSF has been working really hard to improve and to broaden participation in our programs. And we are delighted to get to this point where we can come here today to invite you to get involved in this effort in some capacity, either by using the system or by providing ideas of how to improve it, as you are the people that are on the ground, working with students, working with faculty, trying to make a difference one person at a time. As you hear Marcy describe the system, I invite you to think about how this system can help you, your students, your faculty, and what you can do to improve it. We would love to hear your ideas. We had set aside plenty of time at the end to take questions. The presentation will probably take about 30 to 35 minutes. So there's plenty of time to have a dialogue at the end. I believe you can write questions in the Q&A throughout the session, and you also have the possibility of raising your hand if you would like to speak out loud at the end. So next, ETAP stands for Education and Training Application, and it's a secure online platform that NSF is pilot testing to connect applicants, undergraduates, graduates, teachers, with NSF opportunities. And the way that it does it is by providing you, PIs of NSF awards, and access to a fully fledged electronic common application system that you can customize to your needs. If I do a little bit of history, this initiative traces its roots to a legislation that imposed a new requirement to NSF. It was the American Compete Act that created a specific reporting requirement for one of our programs, the Research Experience for Undergraduate Programs, that was very onerous. And NSF saw this opportunity as a way to extract value, not just to report to Congress, but also to benefit NSF and our community. This was an opportunity for us to collect data that is of high quality from students, leveraging a moment where the students have an incentive to provide complete and accurate information, and that would allow NSF to have access to high quality data to do monitoring and facilitate evaluations in the future. But it was also an opportunity to provide a service to the NSF community, a service that intentionally promotes equity and participation in NSF programs. For students, the system will be providing a transparent and centralized location of information on training opportunities, while at the same time is reducing the burden for students to apply, because now they can use a common application to apply to several opportunities and perhaps discover opportunities they did not know they were aware that it existed. It also provides a service to PIs, and that is that it makes it easier for new PIs to join a program without having to set up an entire application infrastructure from scratch. And they can also leverage this pool of applicants that are coming to this system for other opportunities, and therefore they learn about something they did not know existed. And for existing PIs, it hopefully alleviates burden, and it facilitates using this application to manage your applications and get useful information for your own program. The system is still being pilot tested. We started a few years ago, and we continue to tweak and improve the system on an ongoing basis. We have several of our research experiences program using it currently, including the REU program, the IRES program, which is the International Research Experience for Students, and the RET program, the Research Experience for Teachers programs. We also have a fellowship using it, and we are now scaling. We want to test this system at scale to more programs such as EPSCoR, to get your feedback and be sure that that we pressure test this system with more diverse sorts of opportunities and users. And with that, I will turn it over to Marcy, who will be showing a short video. She recorded herself, so we have the ETAP's official voice actress in the meeting. So you can go ahead and play, Marcy.
Great, thank you, Cecilia. So I'm going to start by showing you where you can find this and a series of videos on the NSF ETAP website under the Principal Investigators tab. You can find a series of video tutorials that can help guide you through the use of the system. And while I won't show you all of them today, I am going to start with the overview video, which gives you a nice feel for the system itself.
The NSF Education Training Application, also known as ETAP, is a secure online platform that provides you, the principal investigator, access to unique tools to help you manage your NSF award opportunities all in one place. ETAP offers you a free, full-fledged common application system. Within ETAP, you can easily create opportunities for applicants to participate in and have readily available information about applicants and participants to fulfill NSF reporting requirements. You can tailor your application requirements to include the materials that are most helpful to you, such as electronic reference letters, personal statements, college transcripts, and more. Whether you want your opportunity to be publicly advertised to recruit students nationally, or you are just asking program participants to report to NSF information about themselves, ETAP can help. Getting started with ETAP is easy and straightforward. Simply create an account, import your NSF awards, and start managing your opportunities. Plus, you don't have to do everything alone. A special feature of ETAP is that it allows you to assemble teams and delegate tasks to help you manage your opportunity. To set up an opportunity, start by providing information to help prospective applicants decide whether your opportunity would be a good fit for them. Then, specify what information you need to decide if applicants would be a good fit for your opportunity. This includes your application window, who can view and apply, and your application requirements. After setup is complete, the only thing left is to publish your opportunity. Now you will have a unique link you can share to promote your opportunity. Want to tap into the growing pool of prospective applicants coming to NSF ETAP? Choose to make your opportunity publicly available in the setup process for it to appear in the Search Opportunities section of ETAP, a search specifically optimized to leverage information you provide for applicants to quickly find opportunities that match their interests. ETAP helps you review applications and report participation with ease. When you're ready to review applicants, ETAP offers the option to manage applicants individually through an interactive table, or use bulk actions to manage multiple applicants at a time. For example, you can download all application materials with just a click of a button. Then you report participation and you're done. Need award participant statistics for writing a renewal proposal? Curious to see how your applicants compare to your participants? You can access reports which provide descriptive statistics about your participants and how they compare to participants in other opportunities. You can also access raw data to support your own analysis. ETAP is here to support you every step of the way. We invite you to explore all ETAP has to offer. ETAP is available to use now at nsfetap.org.
Oops. Okay, so let's dive in to some of the things that you just saw. When applicants set up an account on ETAP, one of the first things that they need to do is fill out this common registration form. And this is required of all applicants, regardless of the type of opportunities that they're interested in. The common registration form is one of the advantages of ETAP because applicants only have to complete it once and it'll be shared with all opportunities to which they apply. And PIs benefit from access to consistent data from applicants, like Cecilia had mentioned earlier. Upon application submission, information is readily available for PIs to review. You can then use this information to make decisions about who to accept into your opportunity, which we'll discuss just a little later. As you can see, the common registration form asks applicants for information including demographic information like race, ethnicity, sex, gender identity, veteran status, and disability status. Family information, including the education and occupation of applicants' parents and guardians, and whether they've ever received a Pell Grant. Education, including high school and post-secondary degrees and college entrance test scores, and then current enrollment, prior research experience, and work experience. And as a note, you can see on the bottom of this screen, you can access the registration screenshots on the frequently asked questions for principal investigators on the ETAP website. And this way you can see it exactly how the applicant would see it. In addition to the standard questions, ETAP offers you the ability to customize your application requirements. So you can tailor your application to collect any information that would help you decide whether applicants would be a good fit for your opportunity. You can add the application requirements like the personal statement, resume, transcripts, references, and you can see here when you select references, you can also indicate how many references you would like an applicant to include. And then for additional questions or materials that are unique to your opportunity, you can create custom questions for applicants to answer when applying, or you can write instructions for applicants to upload additional files. So for example, if your EPSCoR opportunity is targeted at applicants who live in a specific state, you could ask a custom question that says, do you live or reside in one of the following states? And then filter applicants based on their responses to that question. The best part is that ETAP allows you to conveniently collect all this information electronically, and then you may view it together all in one place. In addition, ETAP leverages external administrative data systems like iPads and CCD. So when applicants enter their education information, they choose their schools, both high school, college, universities, from a drop-down list. And then ETAP combines this information with public data systems that have additional data about those schools, like the urbanicity or the racial, ethnic, or socioeconomic status of the students that go there. This information is added to the CSV download of applicants for ease of viewing, filtering, and sorting. ETAP offers many great features designed to help you access data about your applicants and participants. It offers several ways to view your applications. You can view them directly in ETAP or by downloading applications, transcripts, and references in PDFs. If you want to review multiple applicants at a time, you can download applicant-level CSV files on all your applicants. This allows you to do things like sort applicants by characteristics collected in the common application, or by responses to common questions. You can actually download reports, as the video showed as well, to see how your applicants compare to your participants, or how your participants compare to participants in similar types of opportunities. Additionally, you can download raw data in CSV file to support your own analysis. Another unique feature of ETAP is that you can decide how you want your application to appear. If you want to recruit applicants through ETAP, you can choose to make your application open competition so that applicants can find your opportunity using the ETAP search tool. And we'll show you that search tool again in just a minute. But on the other hand, if you want to use ETAP for data and reporting purposes, but you're not running a competitive application, or you're running a limited competition, you can select invitation only. such that applicants can only apply to your opportunity if they're provided a direct link. All opportunities will get a unique URL that you can share with prospective applicants, regardless of if it's open competition or invitation only. And like I said, one of the advantages if you're running an open competition is that your opportunity will automatically appear in the ETAP search results. This is the view of the search results that applicants would see. And applicants can search for your opportunities that they're interested in. They can also use the filters here on the side. And then they can filter for things like location or field of study, or whether the opportunity is geared towards an undergraduate, graduate, postgraduate, or teachers currently. And again, like Cecilia mentioned earlier, ETAP is a pilot and it is ever evolving. So we're always looking to make improvements. Currently, or our most recent improvements include being completely mobile friendly, being 508 compliant, and using diverse imagery and inclusive language. And one of the ways that we continue to improve ETAP is through the use of a help desk. So ETAP supports a full help desk, and you can see that we've been provided some very positive feedback through the help desk. You can see some of the exact quotes here on this slide, but all feedback helps us identify what's working well and what are areas for improvement for the system. So user feedback is vital to the continuous improvement of ETAP. And Cecilia, I can turn it back over to you if you want to tell everybody how to get involved.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Marcy. So you are all welcome to use ETAP. In fact, I believe all your awards could be already in the system if for you to get started, even without reaching out to the help desk. If you want to start using ETAP, you can simply go to the website and create an account, and then you should be able to import your own award and create an opportunities. From there, if you run into any issues, you can obviously contact the help desk and we'll figure out what's going on. But a point that I want to make clear is that, oh, sorry, I'm not in video. Sorry. Is that this pilot is voluntary, so you're not required to use it. We encourage you. We would like some of you to join ETAP so that we can learn and see how we can improve ETAP so that it meets the needs for the EPSCoR programs. I know you offer very diverse sets of opportunities, and we want to make sure that this system meets your needs for the future. You will still, like the small print here is that you will still need to continue doing your annual reporting through research.gov as you regularly do. So this is using the system is some sort of an additional tool that you will have to use, but you continue to meet everything, all the requirements that you have so far. Even if you don't want to use ETAP or it doesn't seem that it's the right moment, feel free to reach out to us to share your ideas of how you would use the system one day, or what would you like to see the system do, or how you would use the data for. Also, all those sorts of questions and ideas are very important for us to as we develop. And we are in a prime moment right now where all our energy is into improving this system. So getting involved now, it's not that we're not going to get feedback in the future, but this is the right moment where we are devoting all this effort into system development and testing and making sure that it works. It will reach a point where the system is mature enough that changes are going to be harder to make. So get involved, contact us. You have the contact information from the help desk, and let's take it from there. I hope you are excited. I hope you find this tool useful. And now we can turn it over to questions if there's any in the room. Let's see.
Good morning, everyone. We don't have any in the Q&A, but we did just receive one in the chat. So the first question, which is a great one, can account access be expanded beyond PIs and co-PIs? And the answer to that is yes. Marcy, do you want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely. So PIs and co-PIs who are associated with the award have automatic access when they create an account in ETAP. So like Cecilia said, you may all create your account in ETAP. If you use your NSF email address, it recognizes you and your awards will automatically be there ready for you to import. Once you've imported an award, then you may designate two types of users in ETAP. So you can have somebody act as a proxy, which means they have access to every aspect of the award. They can create an opportunity, they can review applicants, they can input admissions decisions and participation status. The other option for a user is a reviewer, and that person has a limited set of abilities where they can review applicants that have been added to the system and help with the admissions decisions process, but they don't have access to actually create an award or input, create an opportunity under an award and input that information. So we do have two tiers of access, both proxy and reviewer, in addition to any PI or co-PI who automatically gets access to the award.
Great, thanks, Marcy. Our next question, with a compliment, that was a great presentation, which thank you, ladies. Is it possible for postdoctoral associate opportunity announcements? Cecilia, you don't want to take that one?
Sure. So we would love to have a postdoc opportunity in ETAP and learn from you. So we currently don't have a program that serves postdoc using the system. We have undergrads, we have graduate students, and we have teachers, and we have professionals. We particularly have a fellowship that is targeting sort of adults that are working and want to come back to do a PhD. So a very particular slice of users. We do not have a postdocs. But if you see, if we don't see any reason why not to. In other ways, we would love to test it with postdocs and learn from you if you think the sets of questions are appropriate to meet the needs of a postdocs, or perhaps we would need to add some or tweak this registration form to have some additional questions that will be relevant for postdocs. So we would certainly be interested in having one of you join us and test it with postdocs.
Thanks, Cecilia. The next question is your ETAP account permanent or only active for the life of the award? Cecilia, you want to take that one as well?
It's permanent. So the system is truly longitudinal. That was another of the biggest upgrades that we recently made, where the idea is that this system continues to store all the data on your previous awards or your previous opportunities under different awards. So you will still have access to your data and your account will be permanent. In the future, we are going to hopefully connect this with research.gov so that we're moving towards a more integrated types of systems at NSF. So that will be facilitating this connection between the two systems. But currently, you sort of have to go to ETAP and create your own account there, which is not necessarily linked to the research.gov account. But that's more than what you wanted to know, probably.
Thank you, Cecilia. Another question in the chat: how does the system prevent fake information from being used by the PI?
Oh, that's a good one. what do you mean by fake information? I mean, this is a tool for PIs to be creating an opportunity based on an award. You are acting on behalf of your NSF award. So I'm hopefully, I trust that you are publishing information that is accurate and complete and serving the needs of your award. And I believe PIs have the incentives to do that.
If the person who asked that question wants to come off mute and make sure that we are understanding the question and answered that comprehensively, please feel free to do that. Oh, the clarification is information by the applicants. So fake information from applicants that the PIs are reviewing.
Oh, okay. There's nothing in place, like sort of like an IT solution for that. I think, you know, this is how this is probably the same as it happens without the system, where a student applies to a particular opportunity. NSF is not confirming or level checking that the information provided is accurate. Those students have probably incentives to provide such information. If you have any ideas of how that could change. Oh, well, there is a statement, so the students need to certify at the end. I think if that's where you're going, the students need to certify at the end that the information is accurate and complete before submitting an application. But that's to the extent of which we can sort of control or provide a quality assurance.
Thanks, Cecilia. Our next question is, how do we envision the system interacting with university HR systems? The person asking the question says that they can envision some conflict here. Does that seem clear? Should we ask that person to come off mute and clarify the question, in particular, any specific concerns?
I think that would be helpful if it's at all possible. So we don't see a specific interaction with the HR system at the university, at least not a formal one. But I wonder, what is it that you have in mind, and why would that be helpful?
Yeah, so sorry, Nick Coyers here. Thank you very much for taking my question. A very lovely presentation. I see this is a really good place to get opportunities, especially for things like REU programs or informal REU programs like we have, or for postdoctoral researchers. But our university HR system is very funny about all of the applications coming through their portals and them having a role in all of the applications that our REU students put in, with certain information required and certain requirements in the job ad, among other things. So I just envision some conflict there if I start putting ads up somewhere else on this and soliciting applications from there, that they also may have to apply within the university system as well as in the NSF system. But if there was interaction between those two things, where you could kind of interface those two things together and synchronize them, that could be really useful for the application process, because our HR system is awful.
So, okay, now I understand the context. And so I take that you are mandated to use their own systems?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, so there are a few universities that have their own systems, and but they're not all of them. I think envisioning a connection with university systems is it's many years ahead, and it's going to be probably very hard to implement, to be realistic. What could happen so let me put it this way. I mean, probably you're not a good candidate for joining ETAP now and pilot testing this system if your university requires it. In the future, we don't know how it's going to play out, but if and when NSF mandates the use of ETAP for its own awards, then it could be that some cases, such as yours, becomes an exception approved by the program officer, or that it becomes a requirement of the award, and therefore universities would need to adapt to it. But none of those conversations are happening right now. We're very much in the infancy in that regard. We're just offering this tool and testing it and improving until it's so great that people want to use it. and we will figure out how.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking that. I still see this is a wonderful opportunity for students and other people to look for opportunities as well and search for opportunities in a centralized location. What isn't always the easiest thing, especially for all the different positions off of different NSF awards.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But one point that I want to make clear is that we do not want awards to be using ETAP for advertisement. If you join the pilot and you start using ETAP, it's for you to run your entire applications through ETAP. We do not want you to be having a parallel application in a separate system, in part because we cannot make sense of the data then that we have. We are using this data to inform the pilot and where things are working. And if you start having parallel systems and collecting data into two different venues, then you will be making our life harder.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Next question, which is a great one. Do we have or are we collecting data on how many users use ETAP to look for an opportunity? And the answer to that is also yes. Marcy, can I put you on the spot to talk a little bit about the amount of usage that we've got currently this year?
I was just looking at that data recently. I think Cecilia may have as well, but I believe we have 12,000 unique applicants in the system. Yes, applicants. And then of those applicants, only a subset of those, I think about 2/3, and don't quote me on these numbers, but about 2/3 have applied to at least one opportunity, and many have applied to more than one. So we do have a high number of applicants in the system.
And I would just add to that too, that we actually produce reporting for our own purposes to be looking at take up and usage in terms of the programs that are currently being supported. And that's also something that if you were to use ETAP and had particular questions about, that's a perfect use case for using the help desk if you've got any questions about what those data are looking like. Cecilia, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that about kind of how
the amount of usage, it's all contingent on how many opportunities are using ETAP at a point in time, and that's growing. We NSF we're looking very deeply into this data to understand student behavior, application behavior, and how they interact with the system. Sort of to improve our processes moving forward. And so to give you a concrete example, some PIs were concerned about having way too many applications. Now that we're sort of making it easier. Well, that's an empirical question, right? And so we are analyzing the application behavior, and now we're learning things that we did not have data before, right? How many applications as a typical student submits, how many applications a typical student that gets admitted to a program submits. And that gives us a sense that's very important for NSF for several reasons, but one that is very salient is that applications drive demand, right? Now we have this information aggregated across awards within a program, and we can see are we providing enough opportunities to meet the demand? Do we have a large number of qualified applicants that we are not able to serve, which, this is a call for increasing the budget on a certain program.
We have a great comment here about an issue that we touched on very briefly, but probably could spend a couple more minutes going in a little bit more depth here. Jeff mentioned that he suspects that many EPSCoR program administrators would establish accounts in proxy status, but are not able to establish an account until after the PIs create an account and assign them as proxies. He says, I think I just tried to create an account and didn't recognize my email address as a PI, which makes sense. He was trying to create as a proxy. So Marcy, I know you talked about that. I don't know if Cecilia, you had anything you wanted to add about that particular issue.
No, that's correct. You need the PI or co-PI to come into the system and do 2 clicks and put your email in the system so that you are granted authorization to manage their award on their behalf.
And then the proxy access is by invitation, so that we can match the proxy to the award that it's supposed to go to. So that's the exactly what Cecilia said, the second step to that. So PIs are automatically recognized based on their NSF award in the system and their email that they use, and proxies are automatically recognized once they're invited by their email to be associated with the awards that they're given access to.
Thank you. So these have been wonderful questions. We don't have any more right now in the Q&A. If you've got any questions about the functionality, we're happy to go through any of that, or Cecilia or Marcy, if there were any other pieces that you wanted to go in a little bit more depth about while we're waiting for any additional questions.
Perhaps a point that I wanted to, that it comes across clearly is that ETAP is not necessarily an application that can be used by those opportunities that want to run competitive applications sort of openly within a state or across the nation, but it's also also a tool that would allow you to just collect data on your participants. So say that you have a research, you want to hire 1 or 2 graduate students to work in your lab through a year. You can create an opportunity for that, and send the link to those 2 students, inviting them to complete the registration form. In a way, this is envisioned to be a system that would allow NSF to have comprehensive data on all our participants in these training and education, STEM education opportunities. And that includes opportunities that are competitive and not competitive as well.
Thanks, Cecilia. We wanted to mention too that actually one of your EPSCoR colleagues had already reached out in February earlier this year, where they had a RU experience that was actually funded as part of the EPSCoR award, and reached out because they were not able to identify their RU award because, again, it was funded under EPSCoR. So there definitely has been some successful use of the program so far, and just to reiterate what Marcy and Cecilia had said, really excited to potentially engage many more of you in using the system.